أهلا أهلا وسهلا وحياكم الله وكل عام وأنتم بخير. اليوم 27 تقريبا من 9446 هجري. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. ما شاء الله تبارك الله. It is running to our sweet end. It's a sweet end for us. وختام مسك, Allah says. Tonight we just want to throw into the blikkie any spaar blikkie waar ons al ons coins gegooi het in as dit kom na barang toe. En dit was regtig vorentoe gekyk vir hy passies, broers and sisters, because daai geld, ons het al baie plannetjies gemaak met hy geld, al voor ons nie met hy geld gekry het, because ons het moes vorige week in die masjid. Daai jare in Soutrafie, in Newfields en in Hanover Park, die mannetjies wat voel die werke maak, hulle kry ook 'n slaaf wat op hulle laat ook Qadr aan. So het almal gekry hulle feesie, dan het ons gemaak ons deposits al, nie, wat gaan ons doen met ons barakat. Besides that, die mense wat ons die koekies gaan deliver het by, hulle het vir ons ook gegee. A special slaaf wat op hulle barang oggend, mashallah, tabarakallah. This was all the motivations and the incentives that we in our royal programs, that was the royal programming, like you have now these different point systems, like what do you call this U count and what does EPSA have, and FNB all have their specific points that you and I subscribe to. ShopRite have their points, Woolies has their points, Pick n Pay has their point reward system. Now Allah also has his. Don't forget, if you in Jannah, you'll get it from Allah, but if in Jahannam, you will get it from the shaitan. Remember, it works both ways. They have to imitate the organic form in a synthetic form. That's why you expect to find something beyond the physical when you leave this dunya, but it's just because you have been given a misrepresentation of who you are in this earth. Okay? So, people, most 99.99% of things that you believe today, if I take it to a court of law, it will be hearsay. Die een het gehoor, die een het gesê, die een het gehoor, die een het gesê, die een het gehoor, die een het gesê, die Rasool het gesê. It will not work. Your grandchildren will rejecting it in the psychology already, because it doesn't carry any weight, people. Okay, AI would be a better option, because in that realm where we are living now, where you seeing me, it's an artificial simulated world, but it's intelligent because you can hear me speaking, you can feel me speaking. It is the new conscious of a universe. Okay, many of us don't understand the systems. Okay, so we're not going to antagonize anyone here, but it's just important that you are realize that if for 1,000 years or 1,446 years you heard something, it is officially that that heard was a speculation, and it could be 50% a lie. So the God that you could believe in and the prophecies that you could believe in was 50% a lie when your mosque and your churches and your synagogues had closed. This is in the Quran. Okay, people. Imagine Allah must give you the absolute. Imagine what would you do with it. Imagine what would the human being do with it. He will misuse it and abuse it. Okay, so the Qadr, when you speak about Qadr, it's not the same concept that Allah speaks about Qadr in the Quran, that you, as after 1,466 years, had come to believe something which was completely distorted. Okay, that's next sales in Quran. That's next. That's like a Black Friday ni. That's sweet, Bruce, man. Okay, that was in the time when we were still in a sleep format. Okay, when we didn't activate the next conscious pattern that we are currently now serving into. Okay, so when you speak about Qadr, it comes from the word Qadir. Okay, nowhere in Surah Al-Qadr does Allah say that the Quran came down, in the Quran, the Laylatul Qadr is in the in Ramadan. Okay, what is meant, what you must understand here importantly, is that the kitab that you are reading is not the Quran. The Quran is somewhere outside of you, in the conscious, in the Akashic records. That is where the book is that nobody can change. Nobody can change the qadr of that book. Okay, nobody can change the circumference of that cause. Okay, of that dedication of that portion. Okay, that's qadr. That's Laylatul Qadr. Okay, each one supposed to get their portion if they did the work. If you didn't do the work for the last 50 years, the last 70 years, the last 80 years of your life, how can you expect a portion? Do you expect yourselves to enter into a new, and myself to enter into a new altered state of conscious in Akhirah? Qadr is Akhirah. It's the new age where your past mythologies and philosophies and religious beliefs has all been invalidated. There is a new manasik for the new bionic children that are living in the AI world. There is a need for a new truth for them, and not the truth that was compromised by the last generation, that was destroyed by Allah when they closed their mosque and they buried their parents with plastic bags in their mother earth. They were a destroyed civilization with the book that they believed in took them in. Okay, so now when we speak in this new age, we have to procreate a new narrative, not that which is the same like what their parents that had been destroyed on the hands of Allah. We can't use the same narrative. They will live in a dark world. Even if they continue living in it, they will try to bring synthetic truths to something which doesn't exist any longer. There must be a dark room in this age. There has to be a format where you must understand that you must first lose yourself. You lose yourself in Jahannam. You lose yourself in an age that was destroyed, but it is being reactivated so that it can take you into a dungeon. Okay, that is where most of us live. That is where most of the shirk that you are committing today, most of the money that you believing in today, most of the gods that you have and fraudulently replaced with the organic gods in the lives of your children and your current generations. That is all where the spillover is as a civilization. So you must come to terms with the fact that that's a dark age in your life. The God, the Allah, the Rasul, all those narratives in conscious, in truth, and it doesn't exist. Now, further to that, the debt, credit, yani the credit-based economy that you introduced your children into. Okay, remember, our forefathers did not use the credit system. Our parents did. They showed us that it is okay, that if we can just make like one exception to riba, then it's okay. But then we went as children, het ons weer 'n groter step gegaan. Ons gesê as ons nou additional bond gaan vat op die bond, dan kan ons 'n besigheid oopmaak. So we went even further. Then we took the credit card. Then we went in further. Now let me tell you what this is now. This is how you live the lie in a bubble. Okay? You create it from haram, halal. Haram cannot come halal. Only from halal can come halal. Only from halal can come something which is realistic, which is a reality, which is serving a optimum sustainable life module and lifestyle. That's real. Okay? If you choose the dark room, that's the dead room. That's the dead room. That is where you make out of nothing, realize to bring a Sharia compliant product and call it halal. That's where most of you live in a world that has been destroyed by Allah in 2020, but you persist that you prefer the Jahannam over the Jannah. Then Allah says, then they make dua, oh Allah, grant that our masters must be punished twice, their fame, so that we can continually believe in this dark world and that dark energy, and we can feed our children to that fire. Okay, most of us live there. Most of us live that lie. Most of us are not forced to. Remember, capitalism, feudalism, these economy is what has served your Jahannam. That is what served your fictional Allahs, your fictional Rasuls. That's the world that you had sent your children in the past. They had to leave their parents behind and say, Inni akhafullah. When Allah changed the pattern of the cycle in COVID, the narrative died, people. The truth that you ever believed in for 1,000 years died, and amma yatasaaluna anin naba'il azim. Then you had to find a new narrative. That was the naba. You had to now come up and read the book for what it is, and not in a past dilapidated context. Okay, this is what actually happened in your people's lives, and Allahu Akbar walillahi alhamd. You are living reversed engineered. You're living from the bottom up and not from the top down. Okay, you are being reverse engineered in your psychology. Therefore, you are following something which is dead. It doesn't exist. The past has no relevance. So you search for a Qadr at a night when it is dark, when you didn't even put on the light. Now, when you as a civilization come to realize, why did your ancestors put on a candle during Ramadan in the last 10 nights? Why did they clean the house? Why did they make sure that something at the end before Qadr was already clear? That was a symbolic message to you. Okay? If you are from the authentic tribes of the heaven, of the Sama, of the higher conscious, okay, of the eternal earth, okay, then you should have picked that deposit up, because that is how the ancestors has to give you the amana, okay, that the light was put inside on. Die light was in die huis gekom. As jy in die huis kom, dan gaan jy weet wat gaan aan in die huis. Maar as jy buite kan die huis gaan, wat gaan jy weet wat gaan aan in die huis? Meeste van julle is besig met 'n fake Allah, met 'n fake Rasul, because julle is nie in die huis nie. As jy nie in die huis is nie, wat kan jy expect? Watter information gaan jy kry? Your information are all coming from a third dimension grade, okay? From a fictional grade, from a synthetic grade, from a bionic grade. You are not getting spiritual data. You are not getting the truth. The truth is not it's not coming down onto your rounds. It's not coming onto your hard drives, okay? You are not attracting that. Now, what is part of the portions of Laylatul Qadr? Dink jy daar gaan kom 'n mermaid or daar gaan kom something funny? You must get out of these illusions that these people are telling you. It's all what they are thinking, but they didn't experience it because none of them experienced it. I can promise you that. It's just a gamble. It's just a Hollywood bet. Okay. How you believe? Remember, you and I can believe how we want to, but the truth is only one. And Allah is the order. Allah has the right of the truth. Okay? There's no gambling in Islam. There's no trifectas. There's no jackpots. There's nothing like that. This is a whole sunnah situation that we are still trying to figure out what was the meaning. Some of us, the soul tribes, they know 100% what it means, but they don't commercialize it. They don't give it out because the truth is it's very precious, people. You're not going to find the truth on the road. You're not going to find it in Jahannam. You're going to find it when you, in your position, attract it. Now, one of the portions of the Qadr is that by now, guys, by now, you should have already abstained from lots of chemicals that you put into your body. Lots of medications, lots of drugs that our mothers and our fathers are addicted to it. Our parents, our mothers, our fathers, they have been so disfigured. They cannot sleep without taking a drug in the morning and at night. Hulle is addicts, drug addicts. But hulle sê that hulle is okay. Hulle is nie okay nie. The system took their last. The system took their last. Okay? Hulle liewe soos hulle is senile nou. Okay, is mos nou net pille. Hulle hele system is vol pille. As hulle poasa breek, moet hulle weer pil gehad. Voor hulle poasa begin, moet hulle pil. That's an addict. That's an addictive life. That's a destructive life. That's not Islam, people. That's something else. That is how you live in Jahannam. Okay? Many of you are in denial of these things. But we cannot let our next generations accept the lies that has been transmitted into them in the form of religion or politics or economics. Okay, these things has all been resolved. It has all been discharged. Okay, there's a new life incoming with Allah's permission, with the heavens' permission, with the ancestors. But you should have done your work to get your Qadr. Okay, we all are getting our Qadr, people. We are receiving our portion in the dark, because in the dark you find the light. Okay. It's no forgiveness parcel like a fish and chips parcel. And you must get out of that religious misleads. You must become personally involved with your own truth here, because you are going alone to where you need to find certainty and yaqeen. Okay? So by now, the money magic, in 2020, wallahi ala with Allah walladhi nafsi biyadi, Allah must take my ruh, wallahi thumma wallahi, if I'm lying to you, all the money was it was invalidated. All the value of money was invalidated in COVID, people. That's why they close the ports and the airports. You just don't understand how the cycles work, and now they are busy giving you a respiratory artificial digital currency. You must wake up here, guys. Your portion that you are looking for is above, is not below here. And you are perpetually busy with shirk, teaching your children how to believe in money gods and giving them yaqeen in something which has no value. Okay? We can't take another generation down that road. The last generation, we have the right of self-determination now, because we know who we are. We have overcome the myth of death. Because as a means, vir 'n Christenbroodjie of 'n vriendjie sê, kyk hierso kom puasa, Wat sê jy? Hey my broer, ek gaan nou dood. Ek sal doodgaan as ek puasa. Maar vir ons is dit dood. Vir ons is dit natural. So his understanding of death and our understanding when we fasting is too different. Now the same thing about death. You're not going to die. You have just been given stories what death is because you don't know who you are, because you've been trapped here in Cape Town. You don't know why is Cape Town. You don't know why you love the Holy Lands. The Holy Lands is not outside of your people, man. You must now wake up truly, man. You know what? Your conscience is inside of you. Your data that you're reciprocating is inside of you. Your conscience is remotely projected into your body, okay? If you control your body, if you know your body guides you. That's how Allah made this whole system. Your two hands has all the secrets in it. That's why your ancestors said, okay? Everything was placed into your system. You are a very rich tribe in the heavens. You are a very fortunate tribe because of your ancestors, okay? But what religion came to do to you and the political, can you call it? And it's a abortion. Your political systems are abortions because they know it's your land, it's your ancestors' land, it's your resources, it's your haq, it's your inheritance, and not by virtue of ownership, by virtue of commonwealth, your common sovereign wealth. The way they gave you a God, you hated God. That's why you preferred the money God, because that God will take care of you. He wouldn't make you poor, but that's the devil that you were busy with. Okay? That's how the system is simulated for you, for the heavens to find out who is the real one and who is the fake one, who is the original one and who believes and who doesn't believe. لِيَسْتَيْقِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا so that it can reaffirm what is your position. Are you just a passenger or are you an active participant? Okay, if you came here as a spectator, then kanala mun at least julle kinders laat shirk. Don't let them commit shirk like you and I did. Okay, don't deny these things. They cannot live without, they can live without Allah, but they cannot live without the idol, with the idol. Okay, that's shirk, that's mushrikun. Okay, now you have Bitcoin, you have now a decentralized system that from the Al-Jim Foundation, that we have also now bring into the natural order, where we are now having a cryptocurrency that is reflecting on the natural order of the cycle in the new age. Okay, you are now living in the post-mortem of your destruction, of your invasion, of your remodeling and reprogramming. Those who were given the elevation, those who were given the upgrade to leave the Jahannams, gods, and live in the Jannahs, eternal rivers, they will now get to reconcile their genetics, their epigenetics. They will now get access into the quantum field. They will now get to read the eternal book of life. That is what has happened over this last 6 years. But you and I will be living in something which became completely idolic, people. Idolic, and your children knows it, because remember, they know what avatars is. Their bodies are their avatars. You cannot conceive that. Okay? So they know they're not their bodies. They know they live in a different dimension of a projection of a reality where the truth is now being formatted by us, because we forsake the true essence of what Islam's purpose was. Okay, we made it into a cultural hub. We gave it to a certain nation. We gave it to other nations. These are always how you and I were fraudulently told about something which did not exist, but we believed it, man. We believed it. That is the problem here. You have to know it now. You in the age when the lights was put off in COVID. 6 years now, you have to know it. Anders gaan sy mal. Jy gaan nou nie kan sê wat is die difference between artificial and really, because jy en ek is artificial, because everything has been now and activated on the artificial realm that is meant in our mental constructs. It's not an easy time. It's not an easy time. It's the mushrik and the Muslim now. Okay, the mu'mins, I would say rather, because many of us are fully blown mushriks. Fully. Ons kinders is mushriks, ons is mushriks, ons gebruik maar net Arab name. But die system wat ons geglo het en gesubscribe het in, yani, as jy nie jou pakkie gekry het, wat jy gegaan het na die mark toe nie, en jy kan nie uitgekom het heel uit hy nie, and you went through the shredder. Subhanallah, this load shedding had really put us in a very dark space. Okay, it's all how the simulation, because the mind is a trickery. It's the matrix. It's how you've been tricked. Okay, but Allah really thought seriously that you will wake up. Allah really believed that you will remember who you are, especially when you come from the city, because the city was less invaded. She kept her children as is until 1994. For 30 years, only for 3 decades, you were given a bit of a run around to give you to taste the when the lights went on. My God, Allah. Baie van ons het completely verdwaal geraak, gurus. Toe wat hulle nou vir ons huis toe roep, toe weet niemand hulle pad huis toe nie. Toe moet hulle maar hulle self sê, kyk hier, so ons gaan maar nou vat 'n digital passport en 'n digital ID, en ons gaan maar nou live with our newly found religion. Okay, that is what we call the religion of the jinn. Okay, so many of us has resulted to the dark passage. We couldn't upgrade. We couldn't get our Qadr. We couldn't get our nasib. We couldn't get, be that whichever religion, people, in Allah's world, there is no religion. We created it. Okay, that was the jinn tribes that created divide and rule, say subjugation. Okay, that's how they broke your minds. That's why until now you don't know God. I know that. I can prove it to you. If you cannot find God in earth, and at this stage, after a COVID, after 6 years now in Ramadan, then you're a gambler, people. You're a pure gambler, and your children can see you for what you are. Okay? You cannot show him where Akhirah is. You cannot tell him where Jannah is. You cannot even tell him where Jahannam is, because you yourself are lost. Okay? You're just making like dua. Do you think Allah don't even know what you want before you ask for it? Now, why do you ask for it? Because you don't know who you are. Okay? That's how we have diminished the elevation of the ulu of Allah. We think Allah is a mukhu. We think we can gain, we can transact with Allah. Allah is already here where you don't know where you are. Okay, so you must come to terms with the advancement that the human psychology and the expansion of conscious and intelligence now. It's gonna make you look very, very stupid, people. Please understand what I'm saying. This with all due respect. And if your children are going to frown on your stupidity in terms of your belief and your lifestyle orientations, then you need to realize that this business that you've been in for the last 50 years, at Qadr, when the shaitan put off the lights, so he said, guys, sorry man, the same person that created you created me. The God that created you created me. I was just following orders and I had a script. At the end of the day, when the thing went, spiral, when the thing plummeted, I couldn't be part of that because I was not created for that. I became wise. I knew I had to make the loop. Okay, Shaitan is not stupid. Shaitan is here to put you up against yourself. Okay. Allah created Shaitan. Allah created the script. Allah created Allah. So فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. You know, we can't go through this process any longer where you have kept the last generation in perpetual shirk. People. Okay? It's an indictment on all of us. SubhanAllah. Anyway, may Allah Ta'ala grant us to understand what capitalism, feudalism, what money's done. We created money and we made most of the world based on that classifications, as if we don't believe there's a Jannah. How you want to believe there's Jannah? In Jannah there's no money. In Jannah there is no status. In Jannah there is no any religions, no divisions. Can you not use your Jannah mind, your Jannah conscious? Can you not get to the altered mind conscious, yani sitting and realize that these Dajjals here, whether they be governments or whether they be organizations or religious institutions, they don't have the answers. They absolutely are here to gain for their own vested interest, but not for the yani, ordinary man and woman in the road. So that has been flawed, people. We are still going in this respiratory, artificial simulation since COVID and thinking that that's keeping us alive. It's not keeping our children alive because it's not truth. It's artificial. It's artificial intelligence, people. Okay. Now that you have educated your children so highly influential and so and hulle weet nie hoe om uit iets uit te kom nie because hulle het hulle comfortable gaan maak daarso en hulle glo regtig dat is hulle sukses. فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز. They're trapped in their brains, people. They're trapped in their minds. They're trapped in their egos. They can't come into their hearts. You can't find God in your mind. You have to come to God inside. You've got to come in to come out. Okay? So your forefathers, the nation, the Qabila, the tribe of this ancient city, of this ancient world, you don't know it. Obviously, you have fraudulently taken a new identity of a slave background. We were never slaves. We were maybe, our forefathers were maybe prisoners in their own land, but never slaves because we are always free in Allah's company. Okay? So this is the new dispensation that is coming in. This capitalism, feudalism, all these democracies, it killed the soul tribes, a big portion of them. So this needs to be revived, the new spiritual hawks, the new way of reviving life again, because the life is, is gone dead. Daar is die lewe nie. Okay? May Allah Ta'ala accept your ibadah and may you have a beautiful buka inshallah. Taqabbal Allah minna wa minkum ya kareem.
يا مصطفى